Are we live? Damn, it just go live without saying nothing? God damn.
We need to put like some chaos or something in the beginning for this intro.
Motherfucker going Super Saiyan 2 or something.
Yeah.
But all right, this is the guys are watching Off Panel. This is the first iteration of this derivative ass show. When we're running a skeleton crew, when it's just us, the core group. Welcome. If you're on Instagram, go to YouTube because Instagram only let us run for 1 hour. I don't know how long we're going to be on here, but Instagram does have a time limit. So I just put it live on Instagram just to give people that sort of like that filler option. But YouTube is where the official live is. So fuck with us over there. If you coming in, hit that live, hit that like, hit that subscribe or whatever the fuck you need to do. You know what I mean? We here on the wee hours of Thanksgiving night. Hope everybody had a good night. I got my two faithful, loyal co-hosts with me.
You know, when it's time to get that work in,
Niggas is down. Niggas is down for the work. I appreciate that too. You on the hot seat right now, brother. It's my co-host D Millionaire Money Minds.
Yes, sir.
You was editing. What you was editing?
Some content for it that I got releasing. Probably in a couple hours actually. So I was able to put together a couple videos this morning, but I wasn't able to edit them until I got back from mom's house, you know, getting that good eating in.
And my man's Ojo, Holy City. You know what I mean?
Yep.
How's everybody's Thanksgiving? What you rated on a scale from 1 to 10?
And first off, let's change the name of this Oppressors Day to Family. We're going to turn this into just to a dedicated. It'll be Fed Day from here on or something.
Fed Day, National Fed Day.
November's Fed Day.
Today was pretty cool, but like I was trying to say earlier, my food, what am I trying to say? It wasn't that good of a food day for me. I didn't really have an appetite. I'm eating chips and shit. I'm so disappointed in myself today. I didn't finish my cake, none of that shit.
You ate before? Or you starved?
Not really. I had some ice cream. I was craving ice cream the last 2 days, so I had some ice cream.
I wonder if you threw your taste buds off. You know what I'm saying?
I probably did. That's probably a good point. But anyway, we here. I got a few topics. I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. A lot of it seems to be NBA oriented, but
seems to be a lot of talk surrounding the NBA right now. Apparently, I haven't been keeping up with the ratings. That's a lot of the talk is centered around that.
You said the ratings?
Yeah, they're saying
being down.
Yeah, they're saying that there's a definite slide in the ratings. People are not watching. People are not picking up games. They're not tuning in from at home like they used to, especially compared to last year and maybe the year before last. And there's been a lot of chatter about, you know, what's going on with that. So we could definitely get into that tonight and see what y'all feel about it.
I heard that too. And I think that was actually tied to what I saw on Fred Van Vleet, which is what I wanted to get into. The first topic I wanted to bring up was his little spat with the referees the other day.
Chicago native, I think, born and raised.
Is he?
Oh, is he?
I didn't know.
I can tell, nigga.
So have you seen that clip, Ojo?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, so this is a
out of the loop.
Okay.
So this is where it all started right here. He got into it with
Damn,
the refs.
is he mushing that nigga?
As time is not your friend.
That's not going to do it. That will not get it done. And Portland bouncing back after getting blown out last night. They're going to get this win.
You heard what he said? Look at what he said.
I read. Oh, Jesus.
He said, you a bitch ass nigga. He said, look. You a bitch ass nigga. Fuck you.
Uh-huh.
That will not get it done. And Portland Bouncing back after getting blown out.
Fuck that nigga.
That's-
Fuck you. You a bitch ass nigga.
Damn.
You a bitch ass nigga.
Now Fred Van Vleet was
You a
just thrown out of
bitch.
the
You a
game.
bitch.
Oh my! Did he touch him?
He touched him.
He didn't make contact with
I
the
hope.
referee.
Yeah, it's not good.
He knew what was up immediately.
He's
Oh, he knew the fines was coming for sure.
really hadn't hit a
Them
shot.
fines is coming. I don't know.
And
how
they knew he
much
was
it-
going to get ejected regardless.
And hats off to
Yo,
Chauncey
yeah.
Billups.
Yeah,
This is not
he
an
knew he
accident.
was,
He
too.
made sure that one of
Adam
his
Silver
best
can't play that.
defenders-
He ain't playing them games.
And then this is how it
Wow.
ended.
I mean, I don't mind. I'll take a fine. I don't really care. I thought, Ben Taylor was fucking terrible tonight. I thought that
Ooh.
on most nights, a couple of the, out of the three, there's one or two that just fucked the game up. And it's been like that a couple games in a row. Denver was tough, obviously. You come out tonight, you're competing pretty hard. The third quarter, I get a bullshit tech, changes the whole dynamic of the game, changes the whole flow of the game. And, most of the refs are trying hard. I like a lot of the refs are trying hard. They're pretty fair. They communicate well. And then you got the other ones who just want to be dicks and it just kind of fucks the game up. Nobody's coming to
Shit.
see that shit.
He
They come to
finna
see
be
the
off
players.
$250,000.
And I think we're losing a little bit of the fabric of what the NBA is and was. And it's been disappointing this season. You could look up most of my texts this year have been with Ben Taylor officiating. So at a certain point as a player, you feel it's personal. And it's never a good place to be. That's not why we lost tonight. We got outplayed. But it definitely makes it tougher to overcome.
Yep. And like you said, that nigga probably out of 250 easy.
He's at least out of
Right.
the house.
That happened 3 days ago.
Yeah, a few days ago, yeah.
All right,
Few
so
days
right now I'm seeing here at least down 50. Hold on.
1 year ago. Oh,
You
that
looking it up?
video's
Oh.
from a year ago. This wasn't just after the other night. The thing about him pointing in the ref face was 3 days ago, but that I didn't even know that because I saw
didn't know.
this.
The clip you just played was from a year ago.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought that was from this year too.
I sent that to you, and I thought that was recent. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
that
yeah.
happened after the game. So
Yeah.
basically, they put his receipts showing you that he has no love for some of the refs in the NBA, but that's not unlike any other of the other superstars in the league. A lot of people
They've been at it for the refs for quite some time. Probably these last, I definitely want to say 5 years. It's been a battle.
I'm with them. I'll advocate for it because for the longest time they've been saying people, you always hear people say that the league is soft. It's grown soft. It's it's nothing like it used to be. Where's the toughness? You can barely touch anybody without getting a foul call or without, and if you can't say anything, you can't show any type of emotion without getting a tech. So, a lot of people are basically saying toughen the league up. What is happening? This is why the ratings are down. This is why nobody wants to watch it because nothing interesting has happened aside from niggas shooting 3-pointers all night long. And they're saying we don't show it. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see people just pulling from, behind pulling the tray ball all night long. We want to see people down in the post. We want to see people banging. We want to see people getting into it, the skirmishes, the fights, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. That's what makes hockey so exciting for a lot of people because it's, they let them go. If two players got a problem, I understand you can't necessarily allow that for the NBA, because
you're gonna agent zero and bring a whistle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that we should have another a brawl at the palace, but definitely some of these plays where players are getting called for ticky-tack fouls and all this stuff. We don't watch the games for that. We want to see tough players battle it out. We want to see y'all battle. Let these players battle. They grown-ass men. Conditioned grown-ass men at that. Let them have the court, man. Let these boys play. We want to see that. So I'm with them. I'm with everybody. And Fred Van Vleet ain't the only one that has trashed the refs.
No.
He's not the only one.
I actually like that energy. I like that energy. I think that's good for the game. I like the willingness to call them out, even though you're facing them fines. But
if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Basketball, which is Mr. James had got on public record and said the refs are trash. Years within the last 5 years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but like you say, the game definitely has changed. We in the Steph Curry. What's my name from Atlanta? What's that
Trae
Atlanta
Young.
dude?
Trae
Trae
Young,
Young
yeah.
era, yeah. With Damian Lillard, everybody want to pull that trigger.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I saw a lot of people blaming Steph for that too, basically
Can't
saying
blame
that
Steph for that.
it's his fault that the league has changed the way it is. But it's like,
You can't
no,
blame a
I
man
have
for
this
that.
ability. I have this ability to shoot from anywhere. That don't mean you can do what I do.
Me and a select few can do it.
Me and a
But no,
select
Everybody else is
I
imitating.
I understand the incentive because you see Steph do it every night, but I think it's deeper than that. I think what you're saying about the refs, basically, every time you see somebody go to the hole, there's a whistle every single time. So what they feel like is it's probably not even worth it to play that game anymore because every time I go down there, I'm gonna be penalized for it.
Now, if you think, dog, if y'all remember back, I don't know how many games y'all have actually seen because I haven't seen that many. I mean, I've seen it probably through footage, old footage now. But I mean, when Shaq was playing in the league, dog, if they called every foul that he actually got down there, that he would have had an opportunity to probably go to the line,
40
80
times a game, right?
exactly. You
Shit,
know what I'm
more than
saying?
that. Which in itself is that's not fair to Shaq's detriment. He was saying the same thing. He was like,
Yeah, he
they
was.
they say how big I am, and
Yeah.
they not calling some of these fouls, and motherfuckers is coming with it against him. And he was like, I don't think that's fair
Yeah.
that they not
LeBron,
calling these fouls.
LeBron was saying some of the same things, even though we know he flops a lot of the time, but he has definitely suffered, I feel like, in his career from some of that because he's just a big guy. I mean, he's 6'8", damn near whatever he is, 280 or 270. I don't know what he is now, but anytime you're a bigger player, Giannis, all of the Dwight Howards and those type of players, it's kind of difficult to call it in the paint, and I understand that, but at some point we got to let these boys play, man. We want to see them. We want to see these boys play.
I was watching
So,
something and I feel like it was I think it was Agent Zero. I don't remember who that was I was watching. And they were basically saying that the league is kind of boring now because everybody plays the same exact way.
Yeah,
You running up,
that sound like something he said.
and they were showing clips of it as he was talking. Like you're showing Wemby coming up to the 3 line, throwing up a three, and he's missing horribly, or whoever. Like everybody's just throwing up threes, and it's like nobody's trying anymore. There's no creativity. Basically the death of the 2-pointer.
yeah,
There's no more
The
mid range.
mid-range, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I feel that, and I think all of this stuff is connected. I think Steph, Steph definitely had an impact on the game, but I don't want to necessarily lay that on his, on his slab like he did something wrong. It's just his gift, and people are trying to imitate it. But I think they're trying to imitate it because it gets you better results, and you don't get a whistle every time you try to play.
yeah, and it's so effective. Shooting a 3-pointer does bring with it a host of other things like space in the floor, and obviously it's if you're a good shooter, then it's considered a high percentage shot if you're open, and it's just a host of things that come with it, especially for offensive teams that have a bunch of shooters or players that depend on a bunch of offensive shooters like the Lakers, like other players that have superstars that have shooters around them.
But on the other hand, when shooting the three goes wrong,
Right.
When it goes wrong, it goes
golly.
Yep.
It goes
horrible.
wrong, it goes bad.
Bruh.
I hate to keep mentioning this guy, but I've been watching a lot of his content lately. Anton Daniels owns season tickets for the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're like courtside or whatever. And he did a video where he was talking about basically like he barely even uses his tickets anymore. He usually gives them out to clients or gives them to friends and stuff to use because he's like, I'm not really even interested in going because these motherfuckers are not playing the way that they used to, you know what I'm saying? And they would what he said specifically, which is interesting that you mentioned hockey, is that he's been going to Red Wings games lately. And he said it was a much better experience for him. He had like close seats or whatever, and he really, really enjoyed it. So it's ironic that you said that, but that's the same thing that he said. And this is a totally unrelated video. He wasn't even talking about the Fred VanVleet. I don't think he was. But, I think that's the sentiment of a lot of people. And this is why I prefer, what's the name of that? I prefer playoff basketball a little more because it's a lot more. The refs are like considerate of the
What's
air.
going on?
Yeah, they know that this is high stakes. They don't, they can't really afford to be calling all these fouls and all that shit. So
And they can change the game. Like for you could change the game with one call. Whole
mm,
dynamic of the game can switch.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Another thing that we've talked about before, just between us, is the fact that you buy tickets to some of these games, and you look for um, superstars to be there. You want superstars to be there. You want, especially if you go to a Golden State game versus the Pistons, you're expecting to see Steph Curry. You're expecting to see, what I'm saying, some of the Klay Thompson when he was on the team. You was expecting to see Steph and Klay. And every night to night, you never know what you're gonna get. You don't know if Steph's gonna suit up or not. You don't
Yeah.
know if Giannis is gonna suit up or not. So that's another factor that fans are getting tired of. They're paying their hard-earned money. Everybody ain't got money to be paying for these expensive tickets like that. So when they go there, they want to see their favorite players. They want to see these superstars. So, that's another factor as well that is affecting the league, I feel like, anyway. So,
You say viewership is down, huh?
yeah, they're saying viewership is down. They're saying Adam Silver got some work to do to try to figure out how he can, basically get it back on, get shit popping.
Well, I could say this. Basketball used to be more easily accessible as well, though. You know what I'm saying? Being a game on TNT, TBS, your local channels used to broadcast it. Now you selling content to the highest bidder. Amazon getting games. A lot of games is on ESPN. A lot of games is on NBA Network. You got a lot of stuff that's not easily accessible. You know what I'm saying? To people. People
Yeah.
trying to cut them cords and save that bread. So it's a lot to it that they got to think of. You want people to watch your games, you got to do a lot. You got to think of alternate ways, and it ain't about that mighty dollar. You can't just sell to the highest bidder.
So this is the post that I just saw the other day. I guess they are trying to figure out ways to get more engagement or whatever. And I saw that they're considering eliminating the Eastern and the Western Conference. There's a rumor that that's been floating around.
I don't think none of no stuff like that. I think it's access. You have to give more people better access, make it easier accessible for people to watch games. I don't think eliminating no holds, doing stuff like that is going to
So
solve
what they're saying is they would rather it be to where the best 16 teams out of the entire league is the ones that go to the playoffs versus it being 8 from the East, 8 from the West. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's kind of a good idea. I don't know. I think it would be weird, but I think it would make things a lot more interesting and less predictable. And it would make the argument like, there ain't nobody in the East, so it's like he had an unfair advantage. Like it would kind of change those narratives when it comes to people winning championships.
I could kind of see it that way, but despite the best teams are going to be there regardless. So basically what you're saying is, so I know we had this, I've had this talk with Edward before. Basically, and even I've seen this on Agent Zero's podcast when not Brandon James. What's that muscle man that be on? What's that dude?
Shay?
Shannon.
Shannon Sharp?
No, not Shannon. He on Agent Zero podcast.
Oh, I don't know.
He a big strong dude, dark skin. I can't think of his name right now.
I don't watch the podcast like that.
Oh, okay. Well, he was basically saying, and I think this is as well because it's happened. No matter what your record is, you can be the lowest team in standings, but on any given night, you have a chance to beat the best team in the league. You have that chance because you never know what happens with the refs. Somebody might have food poisoning, they might not play. just like we seen with Dallas going on. Dallas got a pretty good squad. You've seen it, Derek. It could be a favorite squad. They favored to win, and they lose to
That's like Golden State and
Orlando.
Toronto.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Toronto, on paper, never stood a chance of beating Golden State. And if everybody was healthy, it's not even a question of whether or not Golden State was going to win. It was just how many games. But all of a sudden, you get KD, who re-injures his Achilles. He's out. All of a sudden, you get Klay Thompson in the very next game, tears his Achilles tendon. He's down. He's out. So now you just got Steph Curry with some young pieces around him, and really nobody else
trying his hardest, but
and they end up losing. I think they lost in 6.
Yeah,
I think they lost to Toronto in 6. So yeah, it's a lot of factors, which is why. And I know this goes back to the conversation that me, Jay, and Edward had, where you said you don't even like basketball no more. About it. But I was saying, I think my point was, if you have the ability to play, we understand that players do get injured. We understand that there are injuries that happen. I think what I'm hearing from a lot of people and a lot of fans is basically, if you have the ability to play and you're not really injured like that, then play the game. That a lot of people felt that way about Kawhi, which I understand. He brought a lawsuit up against the Spurs. No, he brought a lawsuit up against the Clippers. Or is it the Spurs? Clippers?
I think he tried to sue the Spurs first, I think, because they wanted him to play hurt. And that's why he took the stance that he's taken for basketball now, because the Spurs damn near put his career at risk with that Zaza Pachulia issue.
They're saying he was more hurt. They did put his career. Yeah, they say he was never the same.
Yeah,
after the injury, because they tried to rush him back.
Yeah,
and I understand it's difficult, man, because when you're an owner and your superstar that you just paid millions upon millions of dollars goes out, obviously as an owner you want him back on the floor to put asses in seats. Because you understand that that's your draw, that's your main, that's your guy, that's the person that's going to fill up seats and get ticket sales.
And that's how you're going to win.
But if you, you saying that, but what's the key word that you're not saying? This is their business.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
But so it not only is it a business to this owner, it's a business to the player too. Granted, it's what they love and what they're dreaming of, but ultimately it falls down to this is a business. And if I want to be successful and I want to have a longevity in this business, I have to take care of my body.
That's true.
And that might mean exactly. That's all I'm getting at. It might mean sitting out some of these games.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I would rather if I'm Kawhi, if I'm Steph. And what you say, they play the Pistons how many times a year?
Shit, probably maybe 2. Maybe
so
2 times,
Steph,
4 times a year.
And I know we play the Pistons 2 times a year, and I know we destroy them every time. I would be more likely to sit out that game.
Yeah, I get the logic. And there also lies the problem too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you thinking as a fan, from a fan standpoint, let's say, I don't even know what the tickets are for a Golden State game, but I know it's not cheap.
Not at all.
Right. I know it wouldn't be as the price for no regular game.
Yeah, exactly. So you figure
Bulls and Detroit or something like that.
So let's just take me for instance. If I was to buy tickets for my whole family, I got 3 boys, wife. That's 5 tickets that I got to pay for to try to go see the Golden State Warriors play the Pistons. I wanted everybody to experience this event. Granted, now the tickets were probably $140 a ticket, maybe.
A whop, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not, for me, that's not chump change. I got to come up with that money. And now
that's just walking through the door. Now you ain't even parked.
Exactly. That's not including parking. That's not including the buying snacks and anything else that we got to get. Now I done spent all this money and I bought these tickets with the hopes that my kids get a chance to see Steph Curry shoot some, blow some threes. And all of a sudden, kind of find out he not even playing. He don't even suit up. Not because he's injured, just because, like you said, it's a night where they playing the Pistons. They feel like they don't even need to play him. It's a rest day for him. Like all of that stuff. The The league didn't even have those type of days back in the day. It wasn't no rest days for players. If you could play, suit up, you playing. But I think that now, people are players that are actually making arguments for it because they saying the seasons is too long. People have been complaining about, what is it, 82, 83 games right now?
And it didn't used to be that long, right?
I don't think so.
I think it was
it's
7.
been 80. No,
I thought it was 70-some games at some
when
point.
Mike and then went 72 and
10.
10. So that's
But I'm talking about
games, and
before.
that was way. Oh,
I swear,
years ago.
Yeah, I swear they extended the season at some point.
They definitely have, but that's been years. But look at it also this way: people are just now. We're coming into this world, this day and age, where science is more involved into sports, and people are taking more care of their body, so they can have longevity. They wasn't. Man, people was going balls to the wall back then.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of differences in the league between then and now. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge of self and all of that kind of stuff, to where you want to, hey, I need a rest day, flat out.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope with that.
It's funny that you mentioned. It's funny that you mentioned accessibility, because one of the comments that I did see was that they need to stop making it so that their games are spread across 4 different platforms. Like I gotta pay for 5 different subscriptions to watch all the games, and I don't like that either.
Yeah,
right, because it's too much. That's money out your pocket.
It is. And not only that, I don't even know, as a fan of just basketball, period, on any given night, I don't know where to go to watch my favorite team. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to see, all right, I know the Phoenix Suns is playing. Now I got to go actually hunt down what station, what channel they're going to be playing on. Why do I have to do that? Why is it, even if you buy NBA League Pass, it's not even a guarantee that every game is going to be on there.
I couldn't believe it. The one year that I paid for NBA League Pass, I couldn't believe it, because I would go on there and try to watch a game, and it would be like, this is on ABC. Like, what?
So they can't broadcast it, and you ain't even got ABC.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I done paid for your proprietary service, and I can't even watch your games.
Yes. And I think that was another one of the differences that they were saying is between the NBA and the NFL, because I'm not sure how the NFL works, but I think if you buy like the NFL package, I think all the games are centralized on one network.
I think it's called something ticket.
I don't know how that works either, but I'll never want to spend the money to.
It is expensive.
It's expensive, which is why you have people, live streaming and finding different ways to watch the games, which also those I'm pretty sure aren't being reported. You can't collect data. You can't collect data on that. You can't collect data on that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if more people are finding ways around a loophole to get around to watching these games instead of paying for, package here or a TV product here or a service here, you can't collect that data. So you honestly don't know who is watching your product.
Right. But to me, ultimately, back in the day, games come down. When you're watching the game, they're collecting or they're monitoring that data, however many people are tuned in. Yeah. So to me, if you forget the money of what you selling out these so-called games for, and you just give it to people, in turn, that will make viewership go up. But you know what I'm saying? You taking the money out of the situation, it seems like that will make the money go up. You know what I'm saying? Even more, be it, sponsorship or whatever, because more people it's more accessible to more people that way. Like I said, you got games spread out over so many platforms now. So many.
Too many.
I think they have 2 different streaming services themselves. I think they have League Pass and they have NBA TV or something like that, and they're like 2 totally different things.
You're right. You're right.
Then look,
what are you doing here?
Exactly. And then you got some, like I said, Amazon got games, ESPN got games, NBA Network got games.
Yeah, too many.
Everybody,
Why we got
yo,
games spread all over the place?
right.
This is chaotic. This is chaos.
And then you gonna black it out. Like I remember when
Yeah.
I was in Chicago, WGN Bulls used to play on that. And sometimes they would even black out games because it's on the network, and that was years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, bruh, if you can't
Yeah.
even watch it in your local city on a local channel,
Yep.
what are we doing?
They're chasing the money, but your product is suffering. Your brand is
Right,
suffering.
you hurting yourself all in the same foot by chasing that bread
Yep.
and getting that bread.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree.
So, as another NBA topic, though, I believe that I heard, I couldn't pin down an official report, but it looked like Bronny got sent to the G League, huh?
Of course, he got sent to the goddamn G League, and he should have been there. But because his daddy is LeBron, which I'm not gonna lie, seeing him check into the game with his dad, cool, very very cool moment. Never seen it before. Awesome moment for them. If I was Brown, I would have did it too. Not gonna even lie.
That's another stat under his belt.
It is another thing that he's done that nobody else has really accomplished. And to be able, I don't even know what it's like to be able to see your son, your firstborn, step onto the court with you, suit up with you to check into the game. That's got to be
chills.
Yeah. So I'm sure the moment for him was well worth whatever backlash he's receiving from it now. However, the backlash has arrived. It has arrived.
And y'all saying what's his name was stat chasing, huh?
Who?
What's my man just went to Utah from the Clippers?
Oh,
Russell
PG?
Westbrook.
Oh, Russell
Westbrook. Y'all,
West.
they say he's stat chasing, huh? Bronny stat chase. Bron James is stat chasing too, bro.
Yeah, that's been another one of his negative feedback opinions that people have attached to his name. But Bronny needed to go to the G League. It's I don't know how many games y'all have seen him play, but he looks to the point to where he almost looks like he's disassociated with how the game is played altogether. At times he looks laxed on defense. He lets people blow right past him. He's disconnected from plays that are happening on the floor to the point to where he doesn't even realize the plays that are being run on offense against him.
Wait. You talking about Bronny or LeBron?
I'm talking about Bronny. So his IQ for the game is definitely not where his father's is or even was when LeBron was his age.
Man, that ain't nowhere near close.
I watched him play a couple times and I was like totally disgusted.
Because they forced that. They forced this.
Yeah. Because JJ
this was not needed.
They put JJ on the stand.
He's to blame too.
Yeah, he's to blame too, because they asked him, they asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh no, Bronny earned this. Bronny earned this." JJ, I know you gotta say it because Bron is on your team. I know you gotta say it, but cut it the hell out, bro.
Exactly. And he was talking all that shit. Well, he was gonna be cutthroat and tell it like it is. This, that, and the third.
Yeah. And he turned out he got a worse record than Darvin Ham had starting out. The guy that they said was the problem for the Lakers last season. And they got him up out of here, packed him up to bring in JJ.
So JJ Redick is not doing good?
I mean, comparatively to last season, no. I think last season in the NBA Cup, they said that they didn't lose any games. They went 7-0. This year, they've already lost like 2 or 3 games in the NBA Cup. It's drastically looking different team. It's a drastically different looking team this year with damn near the same players you had last year.
I probably watched 1 Lakers game, 2 Lakers games this season. So I haven't really been following them.
They're just not fun to watch. I don't even want to watch them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't. Every game you watch, everybody's holding their breath to see if AD is gonna get injured. So it's
the way I look at that team, like it's just like it's the LeBron retirement team.
Yes,
like that's all I see when I watch them.
Yes, and that's unfortunate because this is LeBron's last run, or could possibly be his last run. So you want to see him like put forth his best effort, but watching this is bad. this is bad. And Bronny should have been in the G League when they drafted him. What did he get drafted at? 35 or something like that?
No, it was 40
Oh,
something, I think.
I thought he was lower than that. 55th.
Oh,
He
50,
was
50.
wasn't he the last player picked?
Yes. And they gave him a contract. Usually the 55th player has to play on a 10-day or something like that to even, you know what I'm saying, to see if you could earn a spot to sit on the bench.
And you
They
definitely
gave him a
not
contract.
exactly. And you definitely not finna be in no league checking
was-
no
No.
game.
He was definitely
No.
picked at 55th. You're right.
Yeah. And they've been watching him in the G League, and he's been absolutely terrible in the G League. Like, you can't even, and in the G League, I think people have a misconception about the G League because they think it's the G League. So I think some people that don't really know basketball will think that G League is full of bums. The G League is not full of bums. The G League is full of dudes that can play.
They one step lower than the NBA.
And one step lower. And
All
some
that
of them,
means is the NBA has filled its quota.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
They
like
have-
overspill. Like,
yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. And
And
to
low
me,
key, some of them niggas in the league teetering to
need to be
G
in the
leaguers.
G League. Yes.
So it
So
can go
when you
either way.
compare him next to all these other G leaguers, it's like he don't even belong here with them.
I was
And
saying
it's that insult,
he was getting like 2-point games like the whole time. I don't, dog.
bro. It's bad. It's bad. He's not
Send
even,
that boy home, man.
Yeah,
He's not gonna make
he's
it.
not
I
even
think
good
after
for
this,
them.
matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they can break their contract with him and won't know. And nobody's never going to pick him up.
You know, pack him up. Nobody. I can't
done.
believe they said that Golden State of all teams was looking to pick him up.
That
And
was
I'm
just
like, and I started thinking
that was
about
just
it.
talk.
I'm like, the only reason that Golden State would even allow that information to come out is because they wanted to
trade
get back
plan.
to LeBron, so that
Some
if
kind of
there's a
trade plan.
sliver of a chance that they could land LeBron and have him play with Steph, then they would do it.
Or either trade as a trade asset solely with
Or
LA.
as a trade asset, but I don't think they would even do that. I think they wanted him just so they can get LeBron.
They could bait LeBron over there, yeah.
We'll take him. We'll snatch him up. Like,
I don't even know if I would want to see that though. LeBron on
I-
Golden State, I wouldn't want to see that.
The funny thing is, Steph has already said that he doesn't want to play with LeBron. He had an opportunity. He is publicly stated that he does not wish to play with LeBron.
Why do you think that
I've
is?
heard a lot of people, a lot of stars mumble that.
Because I think it's way too demanding. I think it's too demanding. When LeBron comes in, LeBron becomes your system.
It's his
Right.
So
team.
whatever system you was running before has to completely change over so that everybody fits in around LeBron. See, the reason where I worked with Kevin Durant going to Golden State is because Kevin Durant is a plug-in player. You can plug him into any system, any
He was willing to
offense,
do
and he's gonna
anything.
get buckets. And he's willing to play ball.
He's willing to do
team player.
anything.
He'll pass. He'll come off the bench. He'll take less time on the floor. Whatever you needed from him, he was willing to do. And the offense didn't have to change to cater to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant could get his from anywhere. It didn't
Yep.
really matter. Great
Yep.
plug-in player. LeBron is not that. It has to revolve around him. You got to pair him with shooters around him in order for it to be successful, or you're not going to have a successful season.
See, when I heard Steph say that, I kind of took it as he didn't want. I don't think he wanted that crush. I don't think he wanted that asterisk on his own career. That's the way that I perceived it.
Of the whole thing.
Yeah, like I don't think he wanted it to look like I need LeBron. It almost seems like he wants to stand on his own without somebody of that stature on his team because he's done it.
Himself.
Yeah, he's
I
done it.
don't think he needed it.
I mean, he did it with KD twice, but he did it without KD twice too.
Yeah.
So that's the way that I took it. But I understand what you're saying too. I mean, both could be true because, like you said, LeBron is kind of like I don't know, he's like a resource hog or something.
Yeah,
and I think that what's that shit? What was that? The Olympics. I kind of feel like that was his like. That's all I want. Like that was my test run to play with LeBron. That's all y'all gonna get. But when we get back to the States,
back to busting his
yeah,
ass.
fuck that nigga. Yeah, yeah.
Which the Olympics was great. That was a
Man.
time. I feel like the
I
Olympics
wish-
that was a special time, a special moment in history.
I've watched the Olympics, and I'm talking about all sports. I've watched the Olympics a few times in the past, like especially with my parents when I was younger. But this time, that shit felt special.
It was. Listen, we was all watching it. We were all on the edge of our seats. I remember at home watching like these boys better pull it off. And then you had Steph have that amazing, crazy game at the end. And I think to Steph, that just solidified even more like, nah, I'm him. No matter what team I'm on, no matter where you put me, I'm him. I'm that.
I can't even put that into words how dope that was, because we got to see everybody step up when it was their turn to, except Jason Tatum. But
hey, they're saying that he's having an assassin season because of that.
I heard that.
They said that he's on a trip because of that, because of what happened over the summer. And
I heard that too.
I think they only got one. They might only have one loss.
One or two, yeah.
18-2 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
I got another topic. I saw this clip. I just wanted to see what you guys thought of it. Let's watch this. It's almost 5 minutes long, so let's kick back.
Something that I've always wanted to know that's baffled the shit out of me. And both you and Eddie Murphy, I go, we know as black men how hard it is for us to make it in this hustle.
Right.
It's hard for white boys to make it.
Right.
Because of the competitive nature of the beast.
Right.
But for us, it's even harder.
Right.
So I go, how is it that Eddie Murphy is your brother, and I don't see you in no Eddie Murphy vehicles, Charlie? How is it that Chris Rock is your brother, and I don't see you in no Chris Rock shit? And now, before you answer, here's the one that fucked me up the most. The movie that Chris and Martin was in, where they played brothers.
So that fucked me up.
I'm going, not in a million fucking years do Chris Rock and Martin have the same facial features.
Yes.
Tony is his brother and look like him. How is Tony not in the fucking movie playing his brother?
I'll give you another one. They did The Longest Yard in Arizona.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Him and Sandler.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz, my man forever. Joey Diaz is my man forever. Joey Diaz said day one on the set, he walked on the set, saw all the people in the prison. My brother came on set ready to shoot. He said, hey, hold the fuck up.
Where's Tony?
Where the fuck is Tony? So you mean Tony doesn't fit in this fucking movie? I said, Joey Diaz, you my man forever.
Yeah.
You my man forever, Joey Diaz.
Explain that to me.
To try to explain. To try. I can't.
And if you're in the movie, the money stays in the family.
Listen.
Literally.
I agree. I'm going to try to explain to you guys and you. And I'm not saying it's going to make sense, but my brother sometimes, and you can see it in what he does and his movements and his actions and stuff like that, like Martin in the movie, he's a businessman when it comes to his movies and TV stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Martin's bigger than me. I need to sell this movie. Tone's my brother. Yes, there will be some, hey, him and his brother in a movie. Let's go check it out. But him and Martin push the needle more. I'm only speaking on that movie in that regard. I get it. I was like, okay, I get it. The one that fucked me up. Here's the one that fucked me up. And I've never told anybody this. Only a few of two of my boys know this, and maybe, my siblings. When he did the movie Top 5.
Oh yeah.
I was on tour. I came home for a week. I was at the Comedy Cellar. We hadn't seen each other in a while, and we don't talk a lot. Now since the divorce, we talk a lot more. But he was in his space where we weren't really talking a lot. And I walk in the Comedy Cellar, and he's there, and he's at the table with Colin and all of the guys. And I'll go over to say what's up, and he goes, "Hey, got a movie, man. Put you in it." I did not ask for anything. Chris will tell you, I've never, like I said before, it's on the Headliners Only. I've asked him for 5 favors my whole life. He said no every time, and I swore on everything I loved I would never ask him for anything as long as I lived.
Damn.
So that night, I walk in the Comedy Cellar. He goes, "Yo, I got a movie. I'm putting you in it." Now I got to do my due diligence. Okay, who do I have to call? Do I have to audition? Do I have to send a tape? No, you good. We're shooting in New York too. I'm like, bet. Summertime in New York. I'm gonna be in New York for the summer. I'm gonna be home shooting a movie with my brother for the summer. I'm beyond excited. It don't get no better than this. I'm thinking this is another one of those things where people never know how close you are.
Right.
So it's New York. Everybody that's a stand-in, I know. Everybody that's background, I know.
Everybody.
So I'm on tour, waiting for the phone call. Tell my management, tell my agency, yo, once he calls, we're gonna pause the tour and go shoot the movie. Yeah, bet, we ready. And I start getting phone calls like, hey, I'm on set. Where you at? Like, what you mean you on set? We started shooting today. Today was the first day. Oh shit. Well, I didn't get a phone call. A week later, some chick. Hey babe, where you at? I'm doing background on this club scene. Are you here? What are you talking about? Yeah, we shooting. The top 5 is up and running. Like a month in. Nigga, 2 months in. I get a fucking phone call. Yo, you at the rap party? We here.
Oh,
Damn.
Yo, bruh, that shit crushed me. That shit crushed me, bro.
So why didn't you
Look,
call?
I've never seen the movie Top 5. I shouldn't have to call.
Yeah,
You said to your brother, I'm going to put you in a movie.
I feel it.
I should just get a phone call like, yo, tomorrow we'll be here at 2 o'clock, we shoot. Or, yo, give me an email, I'm going to send you the sides.
you had to be angry.
Bruh, it devastated me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I saw this. I was just randomly scrolling the internet and I saw that clip. And I kind of, I had never really thought about that, but after watching it, I was thinking about it. Like, damn, like all the stuff that Chris Rock has done, from Pootie Tang to
Rush Hour.
Saturday Night Live, not Rush Hour.
I mean, not Rush Hour. I'm thinking.
He did Top 5. He did, what was the movie about his marriage? He did a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock has been on a lot of shit. His stand-ups. I don't know if he's ever taken his brother on tour or anything, but I don't think he has. I don't know. Chris Rock got a lot of.
That's strange to me.
He's got a 30-year career.
Yeah, and you never put your brother on. And one time, and he said it. He said he asked him a favor 5 times, and he said no
Each time.
Like, bro, what's going on? Like, what is this?
What's up, nigga?
Yeah, what's that's weird. That's almost like if I wanted to be. That's like if I was a rapper, right? If I was aspiring to be a rapper, you get on. You know what I'm saying? You get on. I'm seeing you travel the world. Now you're established. Now you're not just on. Your name is known. Your name is out there. And I'm back home. I'm like, yo, what's up? Can I get a look?
Yeah.
And you like, yeah, I got you. I'll get you. Don't worry about it. I got you. And then time passes, and I ain't got no look yet. And you say, oh no, don't worry about it. Hey, I'm gonna bring you on. I got this big tour coming up. We're gonna put you on. All right, bet. Just let me know. All of a sudden I look up, you on tour already. You on the second leg of the tour, in fact. And I'm at home still. Like, wait, I'm supposed to be on that tour. That's like the same thing. Like, bro, what is happening here between y'all? Have y'all heard about any any situations with them? Because wasn't Tony Rock one of the ones that came to Chris Rock's defense when
exactly what I was about to say? Because as far as I know, all the times that I've ever seen Tony Rock,
you muted. I don't know if you know.
All the times that I've seen Tony Rock speak up about his brother has always been like, much love. He's always defended his brother. He's always touted his brother as a great.
He was ready to go fight Will Smith.
Yeah, he was about to go fight Will Smith. And he said, he was like, nigga, where you at? I'll beat the shit out of you for my brother, all that type of shit. And that's what people were saying in the comments, like, this the same brother you was ready to go crash out for?
Yes.
And this is something I never really thought about. Death at the Funeral was the name of that movie he did with Martin Lawrence, right? And that's what they just said in that clip. Like, he like, nigga, Martin Lawrence don't look shit like you. But you literally have a brother. Now, I don't even think Tony Rock is that funny, and I don't even think he's that great of an actor. But damn, nigga, you can't find me no role.
You can't find me nothing that I can slut. Why did I get married, and why did I get married too? You couldn't find no roles.
Why did I get married? That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
In either of those movies, you couldn't have him come in as your brother. Maybe he your drunk brother. Maybe he your brother that got
anything.
Nothing for him to do.
And just like they were saying for that movie, the movie with Adam Sandler where they were playing football in prison, like there's plenty of room for him because it's a whole football team and prisoners everywhere. You didn't even have
Nelly
to write
in there, bro.
Right.
Nelly was in there, bro.
You didn't even have to write him in the movie as your brother. He could have just been one of the prisoners or whatever, anything. what's his name? The guy from Mad TV that was just interviewing. What's his name? Aries Spears.
Yes.
When Aries was interviewing, when he first started the question, he mentioned Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy as well. And while I can kind of see the comparison, Eddie Murphy has put Charlie Murphy in some stuff though, because he had him in Harlem Nights, right?
Yep, he was in Harlem Nights. Yeah,
He was
big
in Harlem
role.
Nights.
Pretty big for him.
And then from the stories that we've heard, he's had Charlie Murphy around him, like in Studio 52 or whatever.
The beginning of his career.
Yeah, from way back in the 80s, exactly.
Yeah.
So he put him, even if he didn't put him in a lot of movies, Charlie Murphy I'm talking about, he put him in the atmosphere to make those connections with people, because that's how Charlie Murphy ended up forging these relationships with Rick James and all these other people and whoever. So
do y'all think it's a possibility that he never put him on because he thought he was trash? He think he's trash?
I think that's damn near exactly what it is.
It could but you, my brother,
sad.
tell me,
help me.
But I think that might be. I mean, I would want that too. I would want you to tell me too. But I think I'm not gonna say that it's an impossible situation to be in, but I could picture a world where you are the star. You've made it. You're critically acclaimed. You got all this notoriety in Hollywood on the comedy scene. Your brother is right behind you. He coming on. He trying to get it popping. And you just notice that he is complete trash, right? And you don't want to crush his dreams by telling him that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to crush his hopes and dreams by telling him that he trash. I mean, I can see a world where that happens.
But there's easier ways to say it than not just saying you trash.
What's the easy way? All right, break it down to me. What's the easy way? You say it.
I think you need some more work.
You need to sharpen your skills.
I think you need to get back out there.
So as a prime example of this, so you know how Dave Chappelle keeps Ashley Larry around. And that's not even his brother, right? They've been rocking for 20-some years now. At least since the show. They might have had a relationship before. I imagine they did have a relationship before the show. Right? So he keeps them around. 2-3 years ago, it was basically Dave Chappelle was like, it's time for you to have a special. You've been doing comedy for a long time and you don't have an hour yet. You don't have an hour that is like solidified in history yet. So he was like, we need to shoot a special. Dave Chappelle threw all the money up, shot the special, right? The special is done. Ashley Larry's basically like, what's going on with it? Like, what's up? What you think? Dave Chappelle was like, nah. He was like, I don't think that was it. He like, if we're going to try to execute, and get you out there with your 1 hour that's going to be like stapled in people's memories, this ain't it. So they end up shooting another one, or they might have done 3. And the one that ended up coming out was the one that just came out on Netflix earlier this year, whenever that was, and it was terrible. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I think that was a prime example of Dave Chappelle kind of handling his friend delicately, saying like, look, you need to do a little more work. We need to put more money into this, or we need to try again, because that wasn't it. And that was, I'm sure that conversation wasn't easy.
Yeah. And there is another side to this as well, because on the flip side of it, as the person that needs to do the work, you got to learn how to put your ego aside. You can't have a fragile ego in this thing,
especially in the business that they're in.
Especially in the business that you're in, show business, Hollywood. That's not.
Being a comedian itself, you need to have thick skin.
Yes.
Right.
Matter of fact, I just saw what's my man from Detroit? That's he kind of blowing up on Instagram right now. He got a bunch of skits and reels.
Oh, you talking about Jack Funny?
Jack Funny. I just saw a skit with him. Not a skit. It wasn't even a skit. It was like a behind
backstage.
The scenes.
They was in the green room.
Backstage, and my man was talking to him.
Mojo Brooks.
Mojo Brooks was talking to him, and he was basically, trying to tell him like, look, man, I saw you just got to keep working. Basically, like he was backstage, just giving them kicking it with him, giving them real game. Like, listen, you're gonna struggle sometimes. Sometimes, it's not you're not gonna have a crowd on your side. Sometimes you're gonna go out there and you're gonna fall flat. Sometimes your joke's not gonna hit. You got to go out there and basically get back up on that horse and get back at it and figure out how to work the crowd, figure out how to get back into it. And he was just telling them flat out. And I'm pretty sure that message right there for him, for Jack Funny, went so much further than somebody telling him, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, that shit was great. It was funny. I don't know. The crowd was tripping, dog. Like, no.
I could think
need to hear what's really happening.
I could think of a ton of these internet comedians who do not deserve a special, and they've got them.
Yeah.
Old girl from the Breakfast Club. She's terrible. Old girl from the Breakfast Club.
Oh, Just Hilarious?
From Baltimore.
Just Hilarious?
She is trash to me.
Here go right here.
Who was that?
Hey, you gotta believe that shit.
That's Jack Funny.
You don't believe it, bro.
What's up, guys? How y'all feeling, man? I just wanna I wanted to post this vlog to let y'all know, like, that you can overcome things.
Bro, I ain't gonna never have you come out like that. You got the food and shit over here. Y'all wanna come grab something? Y'all come to my room and get y'all some. What's up?
I thought this was just gonna be the short clip, but there was a part where basically he pulled him in. Here, go right here.
Came up with that shit fuck with you, bro, and then your mind just go blank.
I know.
You don't know. I was laughing at him.
They not gonna believe you if you don't believe it. Bro, you funny. You gotta. You talking about some? Yeah, earlier I was on 65th. No, you was on 63rd. You see what I'm saying? But they can see you thinking about it. I'm watching you. They can see you thinking. You don't gotta think, bro. You funny. You ain't even come out how you should have came out.
Right. Damn.
You goofy, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't come out doing none of that. Everybody gotta go through this though. Okay?
Yeah.
The fact that you stood up there for the whole team and I told you didn't have to say a lot about how good you want to be.
For sure.
But you gotta believe that shit.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yes, sir.
Alright? You ain't going nowhere. You doing the next show. Let's figure something out.
Okay.
For real. You gonna believe it, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
I was gonna do the next show anyway.
My nigga.
For sure.
Yeah, and I saw that little snippet right there on Instagram randomly, and that's basically exactly what y'all talking about. Like,
That's love.
that's what Tony Rock could have said to me. Chris Rock could have said to Tony Rock.
Yeah, and you gotta have the receptive ears to take that too. You gotta learn how to take that one straight to the chest.
Just because you're a comedian, I mean, there's a lot of levels to funny. Tons of them.
Yeah, tons of them.
Have you seen Charlie? Did you see Charlie Murphy's
I hated
special?
it. Hated
when
it.
He was in that all white.
He was sick. It was right before he died.
I know, but still.
Yeah. I'm not making an excuse. I'm saying that was right before he died.
Terrible.
So that had to be about 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Terrible.
Awful.
Even who the Lil Wayne boy just released one.
Marlon.
I think it was terrible. Yes. I think it was terrible.
No, it was bad. It was bad.
What's that comedian dude from is it Desi Banks who be making all them all the skits? I think him and Jess Hilarious was in a relationship. Is that Desi Banks?
No, you talking about Country.
B. Simone. That was him and B. Simone.
Oh, B. Simone.
Country Wayne.
Country Wayne. Yeah.
Did you see his stand up?
I didn't see his stand up.
Terrible.
I believe it.
I heard people say that they liked it, but I had never seen it.
So I think just because you funny don't necessarily mean it's levels. Like old girl with the bowl. She hit or miss.
Who you talking about? Tiffany?
Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, Tiffany Haddish.
You know, there's upfront funny, there's sidekick funny, there's punchline funny.
It's like physical comedy. You could be movie funny. Yeah.
What's the dude with the glasses who laugh like that? Lil
Rel. Yeah.
His stand-up was terrible.
Yeah, I don't like his stand-up either.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. And those are two prime examples of people who basically had to struggle for years and years and years before they even got a shot at coming on and having a stand-up. They was in Kevin Hart's camp for years.
Lil Rel was fucking around for 20 years before he got on.
Lil Rel writes a lot for people.
And
does
Tiffany
that
Haddish.
kind of stuff.
And Tiffany Haddish. Yeah, you're right.
And that kind of goes what you just said, Lil Rel writes for people. That kind of lands back to what Taylor was saying in the last live stream that we all did, where she was saying that it's different things that you can do in music. You don't necessarily have to be a rapper. It's other ways and avenues to where you can still be effective. You can still get that money, but you just may not be able to necessarily do it the way that you envisioned.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times, it's hard I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to take criticism sometimes, especially coming from a person that you love and look up to and admire. It's hard. It can be hard to take that criticism, that harsh criticism that, hey, you was off your game. Hey, that wasn't really it, homie. You need to really go and sit down and work on that. I could imagine hearing that coming from somebody that you love, that you look up to, that you respect. That can be a blow, but that's when you got to learn how to put your ego aside and get to the work.
You got to, especially if you trying to do this for real.
Yeah. Yep.
But still, to have your brother not put you in anything, that's kind of
that's
hard.
strange.
And I'm looking at his movies. I don't really know what none of this is.
Who?
Tony Rock. This is all his stuff.
Man,
I don't see
he
nothing
doesn't
that I
have. He has very few. I can't see it, but he probably has very few movies that I've seen being if by his movie you mean he the main character or he just in them.
No, I'm just saying whatever, anything, whether he's in them or the main character. Like I don't know what any of this stuff is.
A lot of people
bring it back up and let me see.
They probably even know that Chris Rock had a brother.
Which is crazy because he's been around forever.
Can you really see? Can you zoom in a little bit? I can't even really tell what this
I don't even know how. I got to figure out how to do that. But yeah, I don't even know how
I
to
could
do
just
that.
bring it up on my. See if I can see anything.
Couples Night. I don't know who that is. 3 could play that game. That's the dude from Barbershop and Vivica Fox. I don't know what any of this stuff is. And the funny thing is, like I said, I don't really think Tony Rock is a great actor. I don't even think he's a good comedian. But I think he would fare better in movies than he does on stage. I don't like his comedy. But I think if you would see, throw him in an alley-oop, I think he would be a great supporting comedic actor. If you was to,
that's what I was about to say. Even if you're not giving him the main things, you just put him in position where his face could get out there, and that might help him.
That's what Lil Rel was in Get Out. He was a side. He wasn't the main dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a supporting role, and his career literally took flight from that movie. From that movie, everybody was like, "Oh my, this dude is hilarious. We need to see more of him." And his career took off from Get Out.
He had his own show that didn't he was a divorced dad. There was a doctor with a nurse in Chicago.
Just Hilarious was on that show, right? It was him and Just Hilarious. I thought him and Just Hilarious had a show. I thought him
that might have been it, but I don't remember it because it was terrible.
Yeah, they had a show and it didn't. I don't think it made it past season 1 of whatever it was.
It didn't make it past the mid-season. I think it only made it past the first 4 shows, 6 episodes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a shame though. I got a call from Devin earlier and after we left for Thanksgiving dinner and we were talking about music stuff and I said something like, I'm not trying to mess up my chances. And I was like, we were talking about a certain artist and that he's trying to fuck. And I was like, don't do it. And he kept trying to convince me to do it. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? I'm good. I'm like, I just, I'm not trying to get all the way here. And I've been waiting on this opportunity my whole career and get horny and fuck up the opportunity. And he was like, I was like, nigga, I was like, basically what I was saying was like, I could change our family if if this shit go the way that I think it could go. And he was like, how you gonna change the family? I'm like, nigga, you don't think if I get on, it would change things for y'all? And he like, oh, I guess I see. It's like he didn't
that way, huh?
He
didn't see that, like, because
it's not even that way. He like, if I get on, then I done got on.
Right. But no, to me, once the floodgates is open, the floodgates is open, because all I know is if I ever find an opportunity to throw niggas alley-oops, even if it's just making a connection with a contact, come meet this dude. He got plenty of money. He moving units. He need this. He need that. He need help. He need content. He need editing, whatever. I could go to any one of my homies and be like, fuck with him. I know him. I trust him. And now you got a contract that could potentially change your life. It's all kind of ways, and that's the way that I just don't understand how you could be somebody. And then Chris Rock is not a little low-level celebrity.
No.
Chris Rock been in the game for. Do you
30 years.
You know his first movie?
First movie?
Yeah.
Oh, New Jack City.
No, he was in. Before that, he was a janitor in what is the name of that movie? He was a janitor or something. I can't think of what it was.
Look at all this stuff he's done.
Yeah.
You said he was a janitor, huh?
He was a
CB4?
janitor.
No, that CB4 is after New Jack.
Yeah, that was his own movie right there.
Yeah, that was.
You couldn't even score my man a voice acting role.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And Tony Rock has a pretty unique voice, so like it could work.
Cop. Eddie Murphy put him on Beverly Hills Cop. He was a janitor in it.
What? I didn't know he was in that.
No. Matter of fact, it says he was a valet driver, but he was a janitor in some movie. I can't think of what it was.
He was a valet driver in Beverly Hills Cop. I don't think
he
I
was
knew
parking cars.
I don't think I knew that either. That's Beverly.
Eddie Murphy stole that garbage truck. He was like, "Man, what you want me to do with this?" He was like, "I get $10 for this car, $10 for that." What the fuck you want me to do with this? It was a garbage truck.
Dog, that's 1987. I didn't even know he been on that long.
Yeah, but
so
Eddie Murphy
you got your first look in 1987, and here we are, 35 some odd years later, and you haven't found a way to put your blood brother, on in nothing. That's strange.
And then look at this other break. What's the Wayans brother gave him his next break, and I'm gonna get you sucker, trying to buy one reel.
Keenan,
can you pour a couple water? Can you pour a couple pop in my hand for a nickel? The nigga was a dope boy, had a pocket full of hundreds, and didn't want to spend no money with his girl at the rib restaurant.
Yeah, I can't see. I just cannot. I cannot envision or imagine not putting my blood on. And I know he working hard trying to break into the game.
Right.
And I have several opportunities to do it. And I can't find one avenue for him to get a foot in the door.
In any role, he could have been man in car driving by, just saying something funny like, "Get the fuck out my way, you
right."
That's exactly what I was saying about Lil Rel. Lil Rel's role in that movie wasn't huge. He probably had a couple minutes at the beginning as their best friend. He had a couple minutes, the movie went on, and then he had like a couple minutes at the end of the movie where he had a chance to come in and be funny. But just from that one opportunity, it catapulted and skyrocketed his career into the stratosphere. Now you seeing Lil Rel everywhere. Everybody want Lil Rel in their movie. So you never know, like y'all saying, you never know what it could do if you just give them a small opportunity.
Even if it
could catapult you.
Because look at what happened to Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
He didn't have big leading roles in the beginning of his career. When he popped up in Friday, he was just a husband that lived up down the street or across the street that was getting cheated on.
No, it was before that. He was in.
I mean, I know. I'm just saying, like a lot of his spots, like when he was in Life, he didn't have a lead role in Life. He was Jangalang, and he was funny, and that was it. Like, and now his parts have become almost more memorable than a lot of parts in that movie because it was just a cameo. But yeah.
Maybe Will Smith should have slapped the shit out of him. You know, maybe he should have slapped the shit out of him after all. Because
that is kind of
what
messed
you doing?
up.
Yo, what? He should have asked him after that. Why you didn't put your brother on? Like, if he would have said that, I think it would have been the crowd. Maybe would have been like, oh, like you know, like that. He ain't put his brother on. Like, why you didn't put your
I think
brother
this topic was on a Breakfast Club one time earlier this year.
I didn't even know that.
I would love to see Chris Rock respond to this.
I
would love to see him respond to that Tony Rock video of him saying that he was hurt.
He already said him and his brother not really that tight. He said since he got his divorce, they become a little tighter. But
yeah, I saw that.
They got a strained relationship, so that tells you right there. He's not gonna respond to that.
What if it's some sort of resentment from their childhood or something?
It could be. That's what I'm
It
thinking
could
now.
be.
Like, I wonder why.
Had
Like,
to
it
be
could.
something.
Like it's
Yeah, it's
almost
gotta
like
be
fuck all
something.
y'all. I made it. Fuck my family. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what it seemed like to me. And then my thing is, why would you tell him that you got a part for him in top 5 and then not call him?
Or
And
at
then
least get him the what do you call that? Is it the call sheet
The
on
call
what's going
sheet,
on
yeah.
every, you know what I'm saying?
The call sheet, yep.
Don't tell me you got a part for me, and then I come to find out that you shooting a movie and y'all already like damn near done with the movie. Nigga. Dog. Hey, when Will Smith shot him, I probably would have been like, see, as the brother, I wouldn't have for him to take up for him in that moment. That's Tony Rock. Shout out to Tony Rock. That's a real name. Because at the end of the day, he was like, that's still my brother. You can't just slap the shit out of him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fact.
That is hard though. And Chris and you know how comedians have openers?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Comedians done had some terrible openers.
Yes, they have. I've seen
But
plenty of terrible openers.
Comedians almost prefer worse openers because it gives them the
It
room
makes them look better.
And that's terrible to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
God,
It's true.
I can't even open up one of your shows.
Which speaks to the
I went to see Nate. We went to see Nate Diaz earlier this year, back during the summertime, and hilarious show. He's really good at improv, almost too good at improv. But he had a couple openers come out there, and a couple of them were just not funny. You know, it wasn't to the point to where they were dying on stage and people were like booing them, or you heard like groans in the audience or anything like that. But it was just like you could tell it was certain comedians that came on before him where people were just kind of waiting for him to get the fuck off the stage. Like it was that bad. Like, bro, we're not about to boo you, but can you please get the fuck on? Pack your shit up. Pack this shit up and get.
He couldn't even put his brother in Pootie Tang where you could understand shit Pootie Tang was saying. He could have been Pootie Tang's friend.
Yeah, he could have. He could have.
He could have played Froggy. He could have been Dirty D's little right hand man or whatever.
He could have been. It's so many things.
Yeah,
Chris Rock had his own late night stand up show on HBO. That's how Wanda Sykes got broke because of Chris Rock.
Yeah, but just like you said about Devin, like he could be thinking he could not be in that mind frame. See, we all thinking about this from our mindsets because we like, man, if I ever make it, the first thing I'm gonna do is put my people on or try to put my people at least in a position to be successful. We think that way, but not everybody built like that. You just gave a prime example of somebody who ain't built like that. He like, how you gonna put a family on? Like, what you mean? Like, if I make it, it's several opportunities and doors that could be open, but he ain't even see it that way. So who knows? Chris Rock could probably not even be like, nigga, I made it. That don't mean you made it. You got to figure out your way in, like I figured out my way in. He could.
You're right. Some people he might not see it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is another side of the conversation because
got his blinders on.
I know in the rap industry, that's how a lot of people approach it. Like if you pay attention to the way that Jay-Z handled J. Cole, even though he signed him.
Yeah.
When he signed him, Jay-Z distanced himself as far as he fucking could. Besides him putting him on Blueprint 3 on that Star is Born song. After that, it was almost like Jay-Z would never really want to be seen with him. He kept, because he didn't want to stunt his growth.
Right.
Still,
right.
So he was like, nigga, you got to go get it on your own. Now, I'm sure behind the scenes, he might have gave him game or pointed him in the right direction and shit, but
I'm taking my hands off you.
Yeah, and you got to figure it out because, and we were just having this conversation in the studio the other day. I was in the studio with an artist named D. Rick, and he had some people in there, and he was kind of giving them game, and he was saying that, like they were saying that they knew some people in the industry, and then he basically was like, and they can't do shit for you because everybody in the industry, even if they're known, they they're still trying to figure out how to make it and how to get further into the game because niggas is still starving, even if they, you know what I'm saying? Even if they made it in the door, you still got to hustle. So
And
it's
at some
like,
point, you got to show and prove.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even though I got you, you know, I helped you out or I helped you along the way, I've gotten you to this point to now where it's time for you to showcase. And if you can't showcase, it's nothing that I can do for you. It's nothing more that I can do for you.
I could kind of understand the Jay-Z thing because sometimes a superstar can overshadow somebody.
Yes.
And they can just be, you know, dragging on his coattails and they can really not be about that life. But me throwing you to the wolves and you going out here and getting it turned your ass into J. Cole, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, I don't know if that's what Chris Rock is trying to do or not.
No, I don't think
I
so.
can't tell. It don't seem like it.
He could have been like, nigga, I'm not helping you in no way. Get it how you get it.
Or not, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Right.
Or not, goof ass
nigga.
nigga.
I'm fighting you every Thanksgiving. I'm fighting you every holiday, bro.
Yeah, it would squabble up. It'd be squabble up every time.
Every holiday.
Because how you don't? Yeah, nah. I need to. That's. But
strange. Then you heard what he said. He asked him for 5 favors his whole life, and he didn't do any of them. So
yeah, that's what we were saying. Asking. That's what I was saying. While you when you good, I think you took a break real quick. But that's what I was. That was another thing that I pointed out that stuck out to me in the video. He was like, I've only asked him for 5 favors my whole entire life, and every time he said no. That speaks volumes of either his character or your relationship.
He said, "I swear." He was like, "I swear, I would never ask for shit else."
I understand after that. I would probably get if my brother is Chris Rock,
and I really hope it wasn't money.
I hope it wasn't money too.
I hope it wasn't money.
Asking 5 times for money.
I think it might have been 5. It sounded like it was 5 distinct different.
Yeah, but I'm saying I hope none of them was money because why the fuck are you telling me no for money?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you was meaning okay, but it could have been 5. Put me in this movie, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, it could have been.
Because sometimes you know they'll give you this movie, but it's strings attached.
That's true too. A lot of times, you know. You might think a person got a lot of pull, and they might not have a lot of pull. Just because
exactly. It could have been something like that.
It could have been. It could have very well been. But I just refuse to believe that there was nothing, nigga. You done had a illustrious 30-year career as a known top performer, comedian.
A hell of a career. He one of my favorite
comedians. You couldn't find nothing to put me in. Like you said, he could have been a driver somewhere that he had, I don't know, 15 seconds of camera time, but those 15 seconds was your time to do your shit, do your thing. 30 seconds, you know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't find nothing that where you could slide him in. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I believe
it's even been in CB4.
Somebody had mentioned how Adam Sandler, they kind of to draw the comparison. They like Adam Sandler got all his homeboys in all his movies. Every one of them.
Everybody on.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he built up a legacy off that shit where he had reoccurring characters in his movies.
Yeah.
That's the same thing Spike Lee has done. Spike Lee stick with a lot of his main actors.
Yep.
What's your man too? Django. He do that too.
Who, Jamie Foxx?
No, that made Django.
Oh yeah, Quentin
Tarantino.
He sticks
all
with
the same actors.
Yes, a lot of them.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris Rock ain't one of them ones.
Before too, I think.
Say that again. Yeah.
Before having the same people, you know.
And it's almost like you're saying with Adam Sandler. It's like he's created a universe.
Yes.
That people are kind of familiar with. It's like when we go see his movies, you already know what type of niggas you gonna get.
You know what you know exactly what you get.
And then when you do stuff like that, people gonna get a life for you in turn.
Yes, that is
what you messing with me this hard. It's almost like you believing in me more than I believe in myself. Man, I'll do anything for you, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know. That shit weird to me.
This might be a piece of shit, you know. He just might be. He just might be. He just might have deserved to get the shit slapped out of him. Sorry to say.
Hey, you never know. What they say
He
is
just
your
got his
side,
third
my side, and then the truth, right?
I mean, look at the nigga that slapped him. The nigga that slapped him gave Jazz a whole role on that show. If only, even if only he was getting thrown out the house in that episode. Because Jazz ain't no actor. He's not even a good actor.
No, he was a terrible actor.
He was a terrible actor. He was just like, give my man's a role on the show. I don't give a fuck if y'all throw him out the front door every episode.
And
Every episode, but he was on them episodes.
Saw him get thrown out that door, and it became a cult classic. So now, anytime somebody get thrown out the front door that way, like a fucking rag doll, everybody gonna know that's a callback to Fresh Prince and Jazz.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Dog, if they got 1,000 episodes of Fresh Prince, Jazz is probably in 900 of them boys at least, if not more.
Yeah.
It was a running joke because every time he would show up in that dashiki looking shirt, he was getting thrown out the house every time. The brown, white, and yellow shirt or whatever, he was getting thrown out the house every time he wore that shirt.
And then he got even better to where he had a couple episodes like damn
where he was like talking and had a girlfriend and all that.
He was finna get married, and then Hillary was all on him.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember. What was my man's name from Martin? That played Brumman. Do y'all know his name?
I can't remember his name, but I think
his name.
Even a role like that, he wasn't some great actor that he gave.
I mean, Martin is the one that put what's his name? Ojo?
Pick up the pieces with the kazoo.
Pick up the pieces,
no, he the one that put Hustle Man on. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what his name. That's the song he used to sing. You pick up the seat. That's the one that got hit by the Walmart truck.
What's his name? The one that got hit by the Walmart truck.
Tracy
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. Yeah,
he the one that put him on essentially.
So just like that, another prime example. Martin was looking out for other people that he fucked with. He was like, you might not get a major role, but I can find a way to plug you in.
And I think Martin is the one that grabbed Cole because Cole was kind of blackballed in Hollywood.
I think so too. I think so too. So hey, now we done ran up. Now we done ran up all these. Ain't no excuses. Chris Rock, you a piece of shit.
Christopher.
I think now y'all gonna make me fucking hate Chris Rock, bro.
Yeah, I already don't like Chris Rock.
Oh, you know what? Chris Rock did have him in Everybody Hates Chris, though.
Tony?
Yeah, Tony Rock was in Everybody Hates Chris.
He was an uncle or something?
I don't know what he was on there, but I'm pretty sure he was in that show.
That ain't enough. Nah.
That is not enough. And
I
damn didn't want to say it's far too little too late.
Yeah, it's too late. It was too little too late by then. I'm old as hell. I'm cooked. I'm already cooked out here. I ain't got
you're right.
Yeah,
they did. He did put him in there. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it
how
up.
many episodes?
If that show had 300, he might have been in 25 to 50. If that.
I don't think it had that many. So here go.
I'm just saying the rate.
Hey,
that
just
kind
the
of
man I'm
ratio.
looking for. Translation: I need some money.
Hey man, what you got going this time?
Uncle Ryan is selling mixtapes.
Mixtapes? What, like masking tape and duct tape on the same roll?
That's a good idea. Nah, man, mixed tapes. Mixtapes.
Mixtape is a compilation of tracks that have been recorded on a cassette tape.
He could have been that dude right there
be sold
in
on
a
any
movie.
major city street out of the trunk of a black man's car.
Right.
Typically a Buick or a Lincoln. Since the cost of tapes is so low and the music is free, selling mixtapes was and still is a profitable, although illegal business.
Hey Dad, Uncle Ryan said I could work for him.
So it says
it
says that he was what? I done fucked up. It says that he was in Everybody Hates Chris for 6 episodes.
Oh my God. Only 6?
Is he
season 3 and season 4? Yeah, I think he was an uncle or something.
Yeah, he said that was his brother. That was what's his name, brother?
Musclehead ass nigga.
So you couldn't even have me come in as for more than 6 episodes, nigga. Fuck you, and fuck this show too.
That's crazy.
I love that show too.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't take a liking to that show like I did the other shows. It was good. I watched it kind of like in passing, but it wasn't. It didn't capture me like some of the other shows did.
That show was hilarious.
Yeah, I liked. everybody, I think everybody had a unique contribution to the comedy in it too. Like,
yeah, and it was kind of like my first introduction to like that brand of comedy, or at least that form of comedy, to where
That's
it's
the
just
same
like,
thing you say about the same thing you said about Deathpool the other day when you talking about the fourth wall thing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what they do a lot of that on there.
Yeah,
A ton of
and
that.
it kind of reminds me of The Office in that way, with some of the way that it was filmed, some of the way that it was, some of the way the comedy panels and skits came across.
And you know what? Chris Rock I ain't gonna say he saved, but he brought a lot of black actors to that show.
Yeah.
He had what's his name brother on that show as a recurring role. Willis. He had Willis on there. And gave Willis from Different Strokes a recurring role.
Strokes, yeah. And then the fact that they had Tashina Arnold on there too, from Martin and all that. So,
both of them, Pam was on there too.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, the damn Tashina is the other one. Yeah, my bad. I forgot Pam was the damn mama. I meant Tashina. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's not. Maybe he's not a total piece of shit. But
and
I
then
mean,
he had my man from what's that that old show with Rerun on there with the glasses. He was the funeral director.
Oh, I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Tragic.
He was the old guy. I think he was a landlord or something, right? You said
he was a landlord. Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly who you're talking about.
I can't think. What's Happening Now? That was the name of the show. What's Happening Now?
I used to watch that shit too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't change my opinion. Chris Rock's still a piece of shit.
I think that's all I got for today, unless y'all got something else.
Yeah, I think we did an hour and a half live stream, real quick, something real nice, real.
But I didn't. That shit didn't slip my damn mind.
It's always for the official stream, but I think this is cool.
Yeah,
for the off panel episode 1.
Yeah,
the inaugural episode, the inaugural show. Appreciate you if you tapped in. If you're still here, if you see this part, just don't forget to hit that motherfucking like. We need you for the algorithm, big dog.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all too as well.
We'll
be back maybe tomorrow. Shit, all right.
Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. If we can't cook up with everybody, we got to get this shit done ourselves.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm here.
Say less.